Pedro Diaz, sir. Ma'am Liwayway and Soy, and Ma'am Alma Mehabel, ma'am. Today, we're going to witness a debate about the topic, if the use of calculator is significant in learning mathematics. We have 3 speakers for affirmative and 3 speakers for negative. Each speaker is allowed to speak for 4 minutes. We have in charge of the time, Lilibis Migiso and Joshua Ansula. The speaker keep the stopwatch when the speaker begins. The timekeepers will ring the bell once in 3 minutes as a warning and twice of 4 minutes to indicate that the speaker time is up. And now, we will listen to the first speaker in affirmative side.
Mathematics is not about numbers, equation, or algorithms. It is about understanding. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mathematics, as we all know, is one of the most demanding and difficult subjects for a student to pass, according to Devlin in 1996. Mathematics is taught every year from the beginning of elementary education through post-secondary education and in graduate education. Basic mathematics skills are essential to everyday life. From shopping to traveling, math exists in every aspect of daily living. However, the emphasis placed on mathematics in education and the pervasive nature of mathematics in everyday life are not enough to motivate some students to learn, master, and retain its concepts. Mathematics is a challenging subject for most secondary school students. Students need to pass several high-stakes tests in math during middle school. It is necessary to pass at least one high-stake in math test in high school in order to graduate. Students must be allowed to use calculators on their entrance exams. Calculators need to be used as tools that can help make large calculations easy or as means of checking work for correctness. Calculators are devices that performs arithmetic operations on numbers. The simplest calculator can do only addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. More sophisticated calculators can handle exponential operation, roots, logarithms, trigonometric functions, and hyperbolic functions. Calculators are a way of doing mathematical equations when used correctly. They are also a useful tool in learning mathematics. The use of calculators have only had part in the benefit of education. And with widespread availability, a full range of sizes, and a price range of any budget, there should be no excuse not to own a calculator or restrict the use of calculators. Current issues with calculators have to be dealt with in order to better understand the advantage of this technology, which is the intention of this paper. Calculators should be utilized more often, not only because current needs lack how beneficial calculators really, but also because they create a more efficient student and easily integrated because of size and price. Is the use of calculators significant in learning mathematics? This is the big question that faces mathematics nowadays. Now, let me introduce to you our second speaker, Dana Marie Marumita, and she will be explaining about the importance of calculator, and the third speaker, April Joy Sirot, will be giving the summary of the main issue.
Good morning to everyone, especially to our judges, to our listeners, and to my dear debaters. The question is the use of calculator significant in the learnings of mathematics? For me, calculator is insignificant. Since the 1980s, we have access to calculators of various types. Today, we can include computers and smartphones which are attached to our hip 24/7. So does this ubiquitous access to calculators affect our ability to do math in our heads like we used to? 30 years ago, calculators promised immense opportunity that brought considerable controversy. The skeptics predicted students would not be able to compute even simple calculations mentally or on paper. Multiplication, basic facts, knowledge would disappear. Calculators would become a crutch. The controversy has not dissipated over time. As recently as 2012, the UK government announced it intended to ban calculators from primary classrooms on the grounds that students use them too much and too soon. Research conducted in response to this found little difference in performance tests whether students use calculators or not. I have seen many students use calculators who don't understand what they're doing. How can we get some facts? Or how can we get the solving, the formula, or the solution if we are using calculators to get our answers? Calculators take away the necessity or learnings for a student to know the basis. Relying on a calculator results in a child being unable to progress in math due to lack of fluency and recall of facts. Even if students have calculators, they still need to learn the theories to understand how to enter the problem into the calculator. Also, it seems reasonable that students should be able to solve simple mathematical problems in their head. Sadly, the potential for calculators to transform school mathematics and enhance our facility with mental arithmetic is not being achieved. We are not being provided with opportunities to solve real and interesting mathematical problems in the most effective ways. So to answer whether calculators are affecting our mental arithmetic, not as much as we would like them to. Yes, it's true that in hard or big numbers, we're going to use calculators to get the answer because it's too hard to solve. But if we always depend or use calculators to get our answers, what will happen to us? There will be no improvement to happen. They say that calculators can help in our mathematics skills, but instead of it, it can make our learning slow. Here are my companions that will explain about what we have learned about the negativity about the insignificant using of calculator in the learnings of mathematics. Our second speaker, Crystal K. Tubong-Banwa, and our third speaker, Hansel Green Matas.
Using calculators according to the opponents bring controversies. Regardless of either opinion, calculators are everywhere. What educators need to determine is the extent to which calculators can and should be used in the classroom, such that students will still fully understand and be able to utilize the fundamentals of mathematics. Before they use calculator, they must know the formula before they use it. Research indicates that teachers believe technology, especially graphing calculators, would be helpful in mathematics classroom. Zemback found that technology gave participation a chance to make a conjecture, an opportunity to try that conjecture with the help of dynamic features and to evaluate results. In the same study, students were allowed to use calculator only after they had exhausted their paper and pencil techniques. Therefore, calculators serve as a bridge to higher mathematical ideas. Students would hit a dead end with paper and pencil, but the multiple representations afforded by the calculator allowed them to get further in solving of the problems. In today's time, calculators in school are just as widely used as computers are. Since its invention nearly 40 years ago, the electronic calculator has evolved from a machine that could not only perform simple four-function operations, that is, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, into one that can now also execute highly technical algebraic symbolic manipulations instantly and accurately. New generation of calculators built on the previous one with heightened speed and more advanced capabilities. At the same time, the cost of a basic calculator has dropped so low that virtually everyone household in US can easily afford one. Calculators are a big help when doing mathematical equations correctly. They are also a useful tool in learning different ways to do mathematics. The use of them plays a big part in excelling math. help, but students should learn to do math without calculator, only use if you really need help. But some are always depending on calculator for solving. According to Christina Elshitz-Wallans, her students between 7th and 12th grades had lowered their grades on tests because of excessive calculator use. As they say, graphing calculators are useful. Graphing calculators are advanced calculators that can perform a variety of functions besides basic multiplication, subtraction, addition, and division. They also allow users to store notes, but that's not always a good thing for teachers or students. If you allow students to use calculators and tests in your class, they might store formulas, rules, and other notes on their calculators and use the information to cheat on the test. That's why it's important that the teacher implement a calculator policy that clearly spells out when students are allowed to use calculators in the classroom. They didn't know that calculators may increase the chance of errors during exams. Also, the calculator can cause some students to second-guess their answers, particularly if they are not as confident in their mathematics skills. Calculators hurt students in their mathematical understanding. Math is hard enough. Not learning basic math facts would make it even harder. Adults are supposed to use calculators because they have already learned how to do their basic math facts. They also need a calculator for their jobs, unlike kids. What is the point of teaching someone how to do math if they forget to do it later? It is like the story where the guy catches fish for the man, but the man still doesn't learn how to catch fish. Talking about square roots or etc. Nobody ever does that anymore. However, if a teacher decides to teach it, important skills are involved. Students are doing a problem that is long, with increasingly longer steps. They are learning patterns again, strengthening their minds. Of course, the teacher should explain why it works. That goes without saying. Relating this to writing. How do you know when words are spelled incorrectly? You know because you have written out words so often that you sense when they are spelled incorrectly. Completeness severely hurts spelling skills, and same way calculators hurt math skills. Except, a non-mathematical mind is much more serious than a bad speller. I don't agree with what Crystal said. It is the teacher's responsibility to teach the students to develop an understanding of the mathematical calculation of a topic before they are allowed to use a calculator. Mathematics is used in everyday living, whether it is an engineer designing machine, a clothes shopper determining how much he or she will save, or a student in the classroom, all have used mathematical concepts. The importance of mathematics has not diminished. Because of its importance, its presentation to students has become equally important. High-tech calculators can carry out extremely complex mathematical equations in a fraction of a second. The use of calculators spends the learning process and the time-consuming parts that have been taught already so students are able to cover more areas. It is important that students spend less time on topic since the calculator makes all techniques obsolete. Educators have finally realized that mathematical concepts in learning new things are more important than spending endless hours doing pencil and paper works, doing the same problem since it was first learned. Students today are learning more and learning fast than the students in the past. This, this is obviously has happened since the implementation of calculator in classroom and has occurred because of calculator. Overall, calculators have given new life to students in the world of mathematics. Calculators are already a much part of the emerging requirements of math instruction. This will allow students' interest in math to prolong and either explore farther by taking more advanced classes or at least leave the student with a lifelong appreciation for math. Just remember that calculators can come up with an answer in just a blink of an eye.
I don't agree to April 2. You should use the way the basic functions are taught in some schools, especially multiplication and division. When students do computations by heart, they get a fuel for numbers and number patterns, along with a love and appreciation of math as the level of math increases. Also, they can function much better in the real world, doing discounts and unit driving in their heads as examples. To tell you frankly, calculators also make teachers lazy and worse teachers than they should be because they don't have to make sure the problem has numbers to assure their students learn the skill intended. Although calculators are able to quickly add, divide, multiply, and subtract, students still can't use calculators as their complete fallback plan. They still need to know how to do math longhand. That's where teachers have to be careful because if students fall into a pattern of just using a calculator to complete all of their math work, they'll never appropriately develop their math skills, which will surely come back to hurt them during standardized tests and elsewhere in their lives. Don't let your students become complacent. Nevertheless, the use of calculators should be tempered with the understanding that the calculator cannot replace learning mathematics as a subject. Even if students have calculators, they still need to learn the theories to understand how to enter the problem into the calculator. Also, it seems reasonable that students should be able to solve mathematics problems in their heads. April said that calculation gives new light to everyone, but why many students got passed in a math subject?
And now, we will ask the audience if they have questions. On behalf of our Board of Judges, our Assistant Principal, Sir Herodias, and the representative of our school principal, Ma'am Labio, Ma'am Rochelle, we have this result based on the criteria of judges for the debate for this morning, which is all about the significance of the use of calculator. So for the best debating team, we have the final score of, we have a very close score, 7.55, and the other one is 7.65. The winning team is the affirmative team. Congratulations. And for the best speaker, we have the highest score of 30 points. We have the speaker from affirmative, speaker number 3. We have April Joy Cyril. This is the speaker with the highest score based on the criteria for judging. So to my student, thank you for having this time to have a debate on the use of calculator
to our assistant school principal, Sir Herodias, thank you, sir, for your time. And to the representative of our principal, Ma'am Rochelle, thank you also for your time. So, that is the result. Congratulations.
Let's hear the message of the captain of the affirmative side.
To our opponents, thank you for your time and cooperation in this debate. And I hope that sportsmanship may always reign in our hearts. Congratulations and God bless us all.
And for negative side.
Thank you to my dear debaters and congratulations to the both of us.
This ends our debate. Congratulations to our speakers who have won. And now, our speakers will show sportsmanship to their opponent through handshakes.